Angel Reese is the most unskilled basketball player in the history of basketball, in my opinion.
The entire Chicago Sky team is preparing for action as the preseason approaches. But wait, did you see the recent change the Sky coach made to Angel Reese's role? It pulls her further from the hoop. Asking a lion to leave the jungle is like that. Rhea is being forced to step outside of her comfort zone after making a name for herself in the paint industry. The plan is revealed by the statistics. Last season, Angel shot 39.1% from within 5 feet, which was the lowest percentage in the league. Now, they want her to use her sluggish release to take mid-range jumpers.
And I wonder how her fans are going to feel about that. If she's further away from the basket, that doesn't mean there's going to be a lot of, or as many, I would believe, offensive rebound opportunities for one Angel Reese.
Could this drastic change be the catalyst for her career's salvation or the start of her demise? This change calls into question everything that made her renowned. Will she be able to adjust to this new environment, or will she fail miserably when pushed beyond her comfort zone?
She has no skill. She has energy, she has an attitude, she'll rebound you the basketball. Great. Nothing else.
Let's examine Angel Reese's performance close to the basket in more detail. These are shots that are directly at the basket. Last season, she shot a miserable 39.1% from within 5 feet of the rim. She was unable to hit even 40% of the basketball's highest percentage looks.
Attempts, and we know from 5 foot in, she was the most inefficient field goal percentage shooter.
Change is unavoidable when figures like these speak louder than reputation. Among players who received a lot of playing time, this was the poorest shooting percent in the entire WNBA. The best post players in the league usually convert these chances at rates of between 60 and 70%. For instance, Wilson used her superb draw-pet move to create space against defenders last season, finishing 64% of her shots in the paint. The coaching team is being forced to reevaluate how they employ Reese because her numbers are so far below average. When you see replay, you can feel the frustration. When she puts the ball under the basket, her body language says a lot. She frequently gives the ball to teammates even when she has a clear path to score. This hesitancy implies that she is well aware of her shortcomings in this important area of her game.
And now she knows it to the point that even when she's on the basketball court, she's aware like, this ain't really my thing. Let me get this hot potato out of my hand and to somebody that knows what they're doing.
These figures are supported by the eye test. She doesn't have polished footwork in the post. Her touch around the rim varies greatly, and she lacks a go-to move. During a crucial possession in the fourth quarter against Connecticut with just one defender to beat, Sun recollected the ball deep in the paint, but her clumsy hook shot missed, clearly disappointing the supporters. Examine this.
One's down court with the basketball, 3-4 steps ahead of everybody, has an easy layup, and throws it to the girl behind her.
Alongside Kennedy Carter's exit from the Chicago Skies will make Reese's shortcomings more apparent. Carter was a dangerous scorer who diverted Reese's defensive attention. Opposing teams can concentrate more of their defensive strategy on stopping her without that buffer. Tyler Marsh, the team's head coach, is radically redefining her position. For a well-known rookie, that kind of drastic change only occurs when the issues are severe and ongoing. Observe her when she grabs offensive rebounds during games. Before she scores, she frequently tries the same shot 3 or 4 times. Those frequent misses undermine offensive momentum and waste precious possessions. Reese pulled down 3 straight offensive rebounds in a grueling sequence against New York, but he was unable to turn any of them into points, leaving teammates clearly frustrated.
Carter is no longer on the team, and new head coach Tyler Marsh is busy installing a different vision for Chicago's.
These issues relate to basic basketball skills that players usually acquire long before they compete professionally, not only technique or strategy. Instead of practicing these basic post skills, would you believe that the Chicago Sky are about to try something that could completely change Angel Reese's career? Coach Tyler Marsh is moving her farther away from the basket. Most WNBA post players have spent years honing their moves near the basket, developing counter moves, and learning how to finish through contact. A choice that has left basketball analysts completely taken aback. They are changing her concentration to mid-range shooting rather than intensifying her post-skill development. Asking someone who has trouble with basic addition to solve complicated equations all of a sudden is like that.
Offense. The Sky planned to use second-year power forward Angel Reese much differently than how she was deployed in her rookie season.
This transfer is severely hampered by the issue with her shooting technique, and scouts have noted that Reese's release is extremely slow. In the WNBA, where defenders close out with lightning speed, it is painfully sluggish. The defense has an advantage in a sprint because to that gradual release. Consider attempting to make a shot while the defender has an additional second to challenge it. That's what Ree has to contend with.
She's working on being able to shoot off dribble, and when the play call is for a catch and shoot. Yeah, but what does that mean? Because she's... look, we've all seen videos of her practicing. She's got a very, very slow as serve release out there.
It's similar to instructing a sprinter to run a marathon to alter shooting mechanics. It necessitates entirely distinct muscle patterns and physical adjustments. Muscle memory that has been building since childhood must be rewired. Ree is being asked to change her form in a couple of months, despite the fact that her prior statistics indicate she hasn't even mastered finishing at the rim. Professional shooters spend years honing their form.
Yeah. Poe wrote that Reese was increasing the use of off-ball cuts and relocating her position to constantly create balance and space in Marsh's offense. Chicago isn't planning on asking Reese to increase her three-point production this season. It says the Chicago Sky want her to take mid-range jumpers. Okay. However, Marsh wants her to add more versatility to her shot selection by hitting mid-range jumpers, 10 to 15 feet.
Ree has been very confident about this change in recent interviews, saying she can pick it up quickly and adjust to whatever the squad requires. However, the discrepancy between her technical reality and confidence is evident to everyone who has witnessed her play. Her willingness for this transformation is entirely different from what her mechanics reveal. The first actual test of this concept will be the forthcoming preseason matchup with the Barcelona national team. Imagine this. Reese catches the ball at the elbow, facing her defender, and leaps for her maiden professional mid-range jump. Every mid-range shot she makes will be closely examined, evaluated, and used to support or refute Coach Marsh's approach. Will her shot even clear the defender's outstretched hand?
Chicago Sun-Times, Reese has yet to post up at training camp as she learns the new role for the offense. Oh, this should be very interesting. Quote, for Reese, that means adapting to a modified role that will tap into her full potential as a stretch four.
This completely reimagines Ree's identity as a basketball player. Before using new abilities as their main weapons, most pros spend years honing them. With the entire basketball world watching, Ree is being asked to change almost instantly.
Poe wrote about her new role on offense. This doesn't mean Reese will never post up again, but Marsh understands if the Sky want to build an effective offense, they need to start building out space in the half court. I don't hate that.
Additionally, there is a possibly disastrous side effect. It might take away Ree's fame. Her unwavering quest for offensive rebounds and putbacks produced the double-doubles that typified her brand. She will have fewer offensive rebounding opportunities if she is moved away from the hoop, which might lower her hallmark stats.
So I think it's going to be pretty easy. How easily Reese masters the offense will determine how successful the Sky are in 2025. The offense was a sore spot for the rookie, and how former head coach Teresa Weatherspoon let Carter delegate it didn't.
What happens if this experiment fails, if her existing mechanics make mid-range shooting impossible, and if post-play is still ineffective? The Sky are putting all of their money on a change that basketball history indicates is unlikely to be successful in such a short amount of time.
If her offense ratchets up to the next level, the Sky could be scary. So, the question is, how is this going to work out?
However, How will this entire strategy work out? Well, there may be a bright side to this significant shift. Relocating Angel Reese away from the basket might prove to be the unanticipated fix that no one anticipated. Consider it. Why keep making her play, where she suffers the most when we just discussed how poor her inside game is?
I'm not going to lie to you. I actually feel a little bit better about her standing back further away from the basket, shooting jumpers. I do, actually.
Angel Reese has displayed this strange paradox as of right now. She is aware of her limitations on the one hand. She sometimes misses easy opportunities under the basket because of this, but when she obtains offensive rebounds, she keeps trying the same shots over and over again, missing several times before scoring. Consider how this position adjustment might affect the rest of the team. Did you know that she frequently tries the same shot 4 times before it goes in? That's a waste of possessions and kills the team's momentum. Players like Camila Cardoso can clear the paint by moving Reese away from the hoop, increasing their chances of converting those inside opportunities. If Reese stopped blocking the lane with missed tries, the entire offense could move more smoothly.
Now that I've seen how bad her inside game is, it's still going to be interesting because her claim to fame is what? Double-doubles. All right? That made her this hot commodity with the...
However, this is where things start to get interesting. The million-dollar question is, if Angel isn't camped up under the basket, what will happen to those iconic double-doubles that made her famous? Additionally, there is a difference between offensive and defensive rebounds. She can still dominate the defensive glass while playing a different role on offense. If she is better positioned to crash the boards from the outside, her rebounding numbers could actually increase.
If she's not as close to the basket on offense, which she shouldn't, it should clear out the paint and underneath the basket for Camila to be able to rebound. And we know she can hit layups. We've seen them. We've seen them over and over. I've seen plenty of videos of her hitting plenty of layups. That could be better for the offense. He may also be fully aware that a massive hole in Angel Reese's game is the fact that she will catch a rebound and then proceed to put up 4 shots to make 1.
If Angel really accepted her new persona, she could become a lock-on defense player and a rebounding machine rather than a scoring danger. Instead of attempting to coerce her into becoming a scoring option that she is obviously not prepared to be, the Sky might center their identity around her energy and defensive presence because her toughness and motor are ideal for that role. Thus, we're currently seeing a turning point in Angel Reese's basketball career. Her potential as a player in this league is being entirely rethought by the Sky coaching staff. How she handles this difficulty could have an impact on her career. Would she choose a different position with more opportunities in the mid-range, or would she adopt Rodman's strategy and turn into a defensive specialist who controls the boards? The Barcelona court is now the site of the real test. Adaptation is the key to success in the WNBA. Do you think Reese's career will be defined by her ability to conquer the boards or reinvent her shot? Tell us below.